Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mixer event for Microsoft Development Center Serbia. We are greeting you tonight from one very important building for us in Belgrade City Center. This here is the Museum of Nikola Tesla. Who is Nikola Tesla? He's probably one of the greatest scientists and greatest inventors in the world. He operated towards the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century, and most of his critical work was done in the United States. He's a Serbian who was born in rural Croatia. That was a part of the Austrian Empire at that time. Tesla. He is more than the scientist. He is the inspiration. He has been the leading North Star for many, many engineers over the course of 120 years. He was and he is the inspiration for all of us in MDCS. And with that, we would like to give you a sneak peek of the history of MDCS over the last 15 years. Let's roll the video.
Hey man, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
I really wanted us to come here after all these years, you know. We miss Bodin here today, I have to say.
That is absolutely true.
Because November 2004, we had the first presentation with the development team in Redmond. And after that, it all started. Anyway, that's the building. Why don't we go upstairs?
Yeah, why don't we revisit the history?
Sure. As you know, there was a sales portion of Microsoft and the development portion, and that synergy between us here really sparked the creativity for all of us. I haven't been here for 12 years. This is the first office of MDCS. The first photo of MDCS was shot here. Bodin with 5, 6 initial developers. Remember the stairs?
I remember the stairs, yeah.
And I guess your desk was here.
My desk was under the stairs, right there, yeah. But before I was promoted to desk under the stairs, my desk, the sequel actually was in that room over there. It was 5 of us, so when the 6 team members showed up, then I moved under the stairs. It was a very special time.
So what's this?
This was our kitchen. Oh no, this was our executive bathroom.
Yeah. So you had your own private bathroom.
I had my own private bathroom.
Yeah, like from the very beginning, I knew that you would be an executive, having a desk under the stairs with an executive bathroom. Bodin and I used to have some Coke here, and we were always saying, look at the walls here, look at the old bricks. We're sitting in Microsoft Development Center in Serbia. We're developing state-of-the-art software in this kind of rustic environment. Old Belgrade and the first lines of machine learning source code in this building, in this environment. Let's go. It has been a pretty emotional visit to our old offices, right?
Yes, yeah.
And now we are here in your current environment, which is quite different. What did I miss over the last 12 years?
So you missed quite a bit. I mean, just from the old office, you could see that we were an upstart team. Serbia at that time was not an obvious place for R&D. Today, the whole tech industry here has quite a bit involved, and we were actually successful in establishing MDCS as one of the key teams in Europe, one of the key sites in Europe. It's always about the people, it's about the team.
How would you make the impact? Like, what is unique that you guys had to do in order to establish your presence?
So I think probably the most unique thing about MDCS is this in this journey. How did we actually get an opportunity to work on some of these world-class things? We actually got involved in many of these world-class things only after several iterations or several, let's say, failed attempts from various different places or various different teams. We would be kind of called in as an option of last resort, and we developed a very unique set of skills because of this, because we learned how to operate in very tight constraints. This made our team much stronger. This made our team a lot more hungry, and it actually, today, when we look at our organization, it helped us in creating some of the leaders that we have in the team today and some of the expertise that we have today.
Look, I'm very honored and very humbled to be here.
And we're super happy that you're here with us because we needed an expertise that you bring, which is quite a bit different expertise from our traditional engineering backgrounds that we have. So thank you.
Dragan, really looking forward to this joint experience in the journey.
I'm looking forward to this journey too.
In every engineering work, people leadership is key. I have a pleasure to work with two great leaders, Bodin Drešević 15 years ago, and today with Dragan Tomić, MDCS Director. Dragan, MDCS, in your own words.
You heard our vision. Our goal is to become one of the most valuable R&D sites for Microsoft. Now, is this the year to talk about big visions? Is this the year to dream big? This was a challenging year. Despite all of the challenges, we made great progress in many dimensions, and we believe that MDCS is on the right track to achieve our long-term vision. In the spirit of 2020, we'll start with a couple of stories of resilience. Last year at this time, we announced the MDCS Failover. MDCS Failover is a joint support of key Azure data services, where we in Belgrade support the services during our business time, and then we transfer the support back to Redmond during their business time. Now, a year into this program, we can confidently say that this program is a huge success. We are able to support 95% of the cases without escalations to Redmond. Our teams are working closer than ever. We have standardized our tools, and this has become a template, a model for all other Azure data services. Furthermore, we did this during the year of COVID, which means that we have provided significant relief to folks and improved their work-life balance. The second story of resilience is about shipping Azure Synapse. Our contribution to Azure Synapse is Synapse SQL Serverless. This year, we're shipping SQL Serverless. It's one of the first serverless offerings. And in addition to that, over the last few years, we made several significant pivots to this offering. In the end, we have something we're proud of, and we're ready to compete with the industry. One of the key things is that we started this with a very small effort, roughly 5 people, and over the last few years, we built it up to a team of 50, which is ready to take on the industry. Now, we're very proud that 2 of the key technical areas for us, technical expertise, are AI and cloud services. In the cloud services space, our flagship offering, our flagship service, is Managed Instance, SQL Server Managed Instance. The key technical challenge in Managed Instance is in actually composing various Azure services to deliver on Enterprise Promise. This year, we worked with compute, with networking, with Service Fabric. We made code contributions to each one of these areas in order to deliver on this Tier 1 promise. In terms of business results, we grew more than 100%. In the month of December, we have about $14.2 million of revenue only in December, and this is more than 100% growth compared to $7 million last year. In our AI domain, the signature moment for this year goes to our Office Canvas team. Office Canvas at Ignite announced Word Designer. Word Designer is AI-powered document authoring tool, which provides people with easy ways to author professional-looking documents. We started shipping the solution only 9 months after we started the project, and we're planning to GA it next quarter. In addition, our Office Canvas team is a regular participant in Satya's company-wide AI initiatives, and they're also contributing to Project Aristotle in the domain where we're strong, which is document understanding. All of our teams had a great year, and it's unfortunate that we can't show you all the great work at the demo stations like we did during the prior years. MDCS is all about its people, and this was a great year for new hires as well for our proving talent. In terms of new hiring, we had a goal to reach 300 FTEs by first half 2022. We will have 300 FTEs in January of 21, which basically means that we reached our goal a year ahead of schedule. We also wanted to extend our recruiting reach. We wanted to become more international. And this year we partnered with GTA. We participated in pan-European hiring, and we grew the number of our international hires to about 10 nationalities at MDCS. In terms of our existing folks, our proving talent, this was a great year. We had a number of senior promos and principal promos. Our talent pyramid is looking great. We have very low attrition rates, which means people are deciding to build their careers at Microsoft. Another great piece of news is we have approval from finance and from RES to seek out new building for the next version of MDCS. I'll close on a very positive note. This year, during the latest investment round in Azure Data, Rohan decided to put additional 60 headcount at MDCS, doubling up our investments in Synapse and in Managed Instance. So thank you, Rohan, for support. Thank you.
Dragan, thanks a lot. Quite inspiring. From the very beginning, we knew that we are a part of something bigger, something way bigger than ourselves. That kind of energy and creativity that was established in Belgrade was quite unique, and it's still very unique for this environment. So now we would like to give the opportunity to Mr. Milan Stojic, our colleague, to give us the overview of the early days of MDCS. Milan.
When I joined 12 years ago, MDCS was a very different place. We had just a few teams and we all could fit in a single room like this one. Pretty much from the beginning, we had this mentality of a startup within a big company. However, we didn't expect that the economic crisis will have such a profound impact on us in 2008. In the aftermath of the crisis, one of our teams got moved to Redmond as Windows consolidated core engineering teams. It was tough. Given our size at the time, if any other of our sponsors decided to do the same, we would close the dev center. Now, thankfully, leaders in Redmond believed in us and we survived to see another day. But from that day, we built a stronger sense of a common mission and principles that defined us. So let me tell you about a few stories that demonstrate these principles. Our first story is about having a vision and acting on it. Our team is now driving match education for both students and teachers across Office products. However, it wouldn't happen without startup thinking and experimentation we did early on. We liked the engineering challenges of building math recognition, but more importantly than that, we saw a great potential in how recognition technology can change the way you learn and practice math. We worked on new ML pipeline, on better UI for human interaction, and other math features like step-by-step solver and graphing. And then a few years later, in the light of external opportunity, Bill Gates himself connected the dots back to us as he was remembering our previous work and he knew us as the center of excellence for math and machine learning. Today, with schooling from home, innovating for education and hard topics like math is more important than ever, and we are glad that we are driving it. Our second story is about doing the impossible. After the crisis, we didn't have any fear of any failure. And when we got a chance to take on the PDF reflow, we were ready to do it in half the time and 1/3 of engineers. And in just 9 months, we brought this capability to understand document layout and to adjust the PDF to the screen of any size. It was a success story, but for us, it was just at the beginning, because this team now is a go-to team in the Office for connecting AI with user experience. So for example, image-to-doc feature is the simplest way to move from paper to image to editable document. And in some scenarios like finance, it's the greatest leap forward since the spreadsheet. Today, 10 million documents gets processed every month, helping people not needing to retype ever again. Our third story is about 3 engineers and how trying something radically new can have the great final effect. They picked this as a mission of their own to work on a hardware and to build a drone for aerial 3D mapping and 360 panoramas. It was hard enough to manage all the existing projects, let alone to start something radically new that looked like a pure CGI. However, by playing with hardware, sensors, and the future of video representation, they got the attention as they achieved some impressive results, and they got the opportunity. The team grew and continued to work on core technology for mixed reality. From OCR platform to 3D controllers for VR headset, they deliver some parts for HoloLens 2, including iris recognition, eye tracking, and scene understanding. They started 10 years ago playing with drones, and they are now part of the grand vision for mixed reality. They say it's not the challenge that defines you, but how you respond to it. In retrospect, economic crisis was the toughest period for us, but also the most energetic event that happened. We stayed true to our spirit, to act on our vision, to do the impossible, and to always try radically new, because these things brought us further than anyone else could have imagined. Thank you.
Milan, thanks a lot. Let's now talk about the latest and greatest innovations in MDCS. Tesla, what do you say?
In seeking the answer from Mr. Tesla, we are now in front of Big Tesla's monument next to the Faculty of Electrical Engineering in city center of Belgrade, where I proudly graduated in the last century. Tesla is not going to give us the answer tonight, but here with me we have my colleague Katarina Jukic from MDCS, and Katarina is going to tell us about some of the leading edge technologies being developed in MDCS. Katarina.
Thank you, Dejan. When people think about AI-powered solutions today, usually they get excited around research papers and neural network creation. But what is that additional ingredient needed for smart customer solutions to be created? It's world-class productization. And we in MDCS want to become one of the leading centers for productizing machine learning models in Microsoft. Because over the last decade, we learned our lessons and we mastered all those processes needed for AI to be shipped, from cost reduction and performance optimization, all the way to privacy, compliance, and making sure that our models are not biased. For instance, sometimes the only way to ship an ML model is to massively reduce its cost. And we did this for noise suppression. In order to ship it to every user in Stream, we reduced its cost 60 times. But even when you have the best model and you make it cheap, we know that our customers are not going to use it if they're not in the center of the user experience. This is why when we shipped image to table feature, we made sure that it delights our users even when the model underperforms, because no model is perfect. So when we are not confident enough in our model's outputs, the user gets all the control and information they need to quickly make the corrections. Finally, not all the best solutions are created right away. But when you know how to retrain your model, over time, you can create something truly amazing. This year, after 15 years of investment, our math recognition software became a state-of-the-art AI solution for university-level math problems in Europe. And we did so much more over the past decade. We designed experiences for a variety of customer types, from consumers that use our end products to IT development sectors, from older professors and educators to young pupils in schools. We made an impact on numerous products, on hardware and software, from Office apps all the way to the HoloLens. We operated with a wide range of data types and shipped to multiple platforms. And as you could hear, we delivered a broad spectrum of AI solutions, and we are ready for any AI challenge. But on this journey, we want others to join us. Therefore, we invest in ML community across Serbia so we could expand our team in future and support all the productization of ML models across Microsoft. Every year we organize this machine learning event with the sole purpose of transferring our knowledge to people outside the company. We also let our interns work on ML solutions end to end and include the PhD expertise in our projects. So next time when you see an interesting research paper that might fit well in one of Microsoft's solutions, you know who to call.
Katerina, thanks so much for this exciting overview. Let's go back to the museum now.
Passion, energy, innovation. The world would be very different without Tesla. Many things would not be possible. Even this band, AC/DC, wouldn't exist. AC/DC, alternating current versus direct current. The year that marked the career of Nikola Tesla is 1893, the World Fair in Chicago, Illinois. Who is going to win the contract for electrifying the White City? Is it going to be between Tesla and Westinghouse on one side or Thomas Edison on another side? Tesla won that contract, and that's how alternating current started with its commercial usage. It is about the innovation. That's the idea that finds its foundation in the usage by people. That's the spirit of MDCS. That's the spirit of Microsoft. Vladimir Ivanovich from MDCS is going to talk to us about the customer and business impact of MDCS. Vlado.
Thanks, Vele. I have 3 stories to share with you today. Our story number 1 is about Azure SQL Managed Instance, or SQL MI. It starts about 4 years ago. At the time, Azure SQL was arguably the best and the most complete cloud database platform on the market. Still, we realized that there was an important capability missing to make it truly great. That capability was the capability to migrate any and every SQL Server customer easily to the cloud. This was the mission for SQL MI, and this charter was given to our team. Now, the hardest part about this is migrating the Fortune 100, the largest enterprises of the world. They have thousands of applications, they have very strict requirements, and they're also typically very slow to move. The only solution is deep empathy and non-stop learning. We were in the trenches with the customer day in, day out, and the account teams. We iterated at startup speed and improved the product quickly in order to get to the market and address the customer needs. As a result, we now have a $150 million per year business, which is doubling in size every year. And we have a huge portfolio of customers onboarded to SQL MI. But I want to pick our number 1 customer, PointClickCare. PointClickCare is the leading electronic health record partner in North America for Microsoft. They completed their US migration, their feedback is stellar, and they're now running at $1 million per month in SQL MI spend alone. While we want to use the PointClickCare as the blueprint to evolve the service in the near future, our ultimate goal with SQL MI is to improve the product to the point where these customers and many others can onboard to it without us even noticing. Now, with SQL MI, our team rose to the challenge of building and running a successful business, which brings us to story number 2, which is about Synapse SQL Serverless. Synapse presented an even harder business challenge for us. We were entrusted to define and build the next generation scale-out analytics product that would allow Microsoft to be even more competitive in the analytics space. The most interesting and most difficult part about this was figuring out what was the right way to address the customer's need. There were many, many paths to choose from. So we tried a number of approaches, and then after a journey of discovery and lots of customer learning, we have a strategy set and had a mission clear. And at a time, we just did what we do best. The team went into overdrive mode and relentlessly delivered the GA over the next following 2 years. As a result, we now have Rolex and all these other household names happily using Synapse. And GA is just a start for us. By looking back, the key learning from the Synapse journey was that essentially put our team to the hardest test of agility and perseverance. And I believe we did really well. Now, story number 3 for today is about Office. And as we know, Office is the cornerstone of Microsoft's success and has been for many decades. But Office is now at a point where it faces very tough competition on the market. So the pressure is immense to reinvent and simplify productivity for the 21st century in order to win in the market. But how do you reinvent productivity? Katarina already told you about how we infuse AI into our products to make them more streamlined and create the next generation of differentiated experiences. But there's one more secret to it, which is in order to reinvent Office, we also had to reinvent how we work as a team. So our teams in Office, as you can see, are now comprised of multiple different roles and specialties, and together they can deliver better products faster. And now the first wave of AI-infused experiences is already hitting the market. And we have customer feedback and love coming from all over the world, as you can see. They really do love us. While this is all very humbling, it's just the start of our journey to reinvent Office and also reinvent how we work along the way. And as a conclusion, I've told you these 3 stories to illustrate how we in MDCS engage across all teams to ensure we deliver customer value to each and every one of our customers. We always engage deeply to learn from the customers, whether it's a Fortune 50 enterprise or a teacher in a rural school. We will channel different perspectives and reinvent how we work in order to deliver these new great differentiated experiences. And MDCS always delivers. You can bet on it. In spite of the hardships, no matter how many pivots, we will rise to the challenge. And the foundation for all of it, trust and teamwork, both inside our team and across Redmond and MDCS. So thank you for your trust over the years and all of the opportunities you've given us. And we're very bullish and very excited about what's coming next.
Vlado.
Thank you, Tzvetan.
This was a great, inspiring story. Thanks for that. Let's now examine the look and feel of MDCS through the angle of the dueling interviews between 2 people. The first one, Chris Pratley, the CVP of OMG, and Miroslav Grbic of MDCS. Take a look.
You collaborate for almost 5 years. What are some highlights?
I've worked with Miroslav for 5 years almost, and there's been many great things, lots of technology, but I have to say the highlight for me was watching him get replaced by a 3D bunny rabbit on video.
My favorite is shipping noise suppression to GA this year after being showcased at Satya's keynote.
What do you appreciate the most in your co-speaker?
What I really like about G is that he talks straight and tells it like it is, no BS. It's very refreshing. We just get right to the point, and like he says, he's immune to sarcasm, which works for me.
Chris was always approachable, and it was easy for us to get a feedback on any of our idea. And during this COVID pandemic, he just offered us with an amazing level of support. So thank you.
Favorite situation when the other person annoyed you?
One time I was visiting Belgrade, and we were out to dinner, and I said, it'd be nice to have something light, like a salad. And G said, great. And what ended up coming was a salad, but it was made of meat. A meat salad.
I'm going to exaggerate a little bit, but I had to fly to Redmond to explain that showing a flashy demo doesn't mean we are ready to ship next month.
What do you expect from the next 5 years?
Well, I think our teams are working super well together. The team in Belgrade is growing, and I expect amazing stuff. It's already happening. Super thoughtful about not just cool tech, but doing it cost effectively and in the way that customers want. And so I expect transformational amazingness.
I'm really looking forward for the next 5 years, where the team will continue to grow in size and expertise and play a major role in redefining how people use videos in Office.
The biggest value of every successful organization is its people, because the people are those who define the values, the culture, the passion, and the energy. In the following video, we will see the passion and the energy of MDCS people. Let's roll the video. And ladies and gentlemen, we presented a short story about Nikola Tesla to you. An ever-evolving story of MDCS. At the end of this visit to Nikola Tesla Museum, we have something special for you, just from us in MDCS. Enjoy.
Ciao.